We crave authenticity. We long to share our stories, our hurts, our truths, but there's a growing fear. A fear of causing offense, of being labeled too sensitive or a problem. So we silence ourselves, we bury our grievances, hoping they'll magically disappear. But unspoken pain festers. It impacts our well-being, our relationships, our very sense of self. We need to create spaces where vulnerability isn't weaponized, spaces where speaking our truth with empathy and respect is encouraged. We are wired for connection. It's in our DNA to reach out, to share our burdens, to seek solace in understanding. Yet, the fear of causing discomfort, of disrupting the status quo, often keeps us quiet. We trade our voices for a fragile peace, an illusion of harmony built on unspoken truths. But true connection requires honesty. It requires the courage to show up, even with our hurts and disappointments. Only then can we build bridges of understanding and create a world where true empathy thrives. Here's a painful paradox. We encourage vulnerability, yet we often punish it. Someone gathers the courage to share a grievance, to point out an injustice. What happens? They are often met with defensiveness, anger, even accusations. The focus shifts from the issue at hand to their tone or their delivery. Suddenly, the person who spoke up becomes the problem, not the problem they were brave enough to raise. This twisted scorecard of accountability silences voices and perpetuates the very issues we need to address. It's like a game of emotional hot potato. Someone bravely steps forward, risking vulnerability to shed light on a problem. Instead of acknowledging the issue, the responsibility is tossed back. Suddenly the focus is on their perceived aggression or negativity. This deflection serves only to protect the status quo, to silence those who dare to challenge it. We must learn to separate the message from the messenger, to listen with open hearts and minds, seeking to understand the root of the grievance, not just the way it was expressed, because when we shut down the messenger, we shut down the possibility of progress. Think about your own life, the hushed conversations at family gatherings, the unspoken tensions at work. How often do we avoid speaking up, afraid of rocking the boat or being labeled difficult? These silences are not signs of harmony. They are breeding grounds for resentment and disconnection. We convince ourselves that it's better to stay silent, to keep the peace, but at what cost? In workplaces, this silence can be deafening. Employees, fearing retribution or jeopardizing their careers, stay silent about unfair practices, harassment, or ethical concerns. This creates a culture of fear, where problems fester and grow, ultimately harming the entire organization. Families too suffer when grievances are swept under the rug. Unspoken hurts and resentments simmer beneath the surface, leading to strained relationships and a lack of genuine connection. We must ask ourselves, what kind of world are we creating when speaking up is met with resistance? A world where honesty is feared and authenticity is sacrificed for a fragile facade of peace. We must do better. The cost of silence is steep. When we don't feel safe expressing our grievances, we internalize them. This can manifest in anxiety, depression, even physical ailments. It erodes our sense of self-worth and our belief in our own voice. Moreover, it prevents us from addressing the root causes of our pain, leading to cycles of resentment and frustration. Imagine carrying the weight of unspoken words, of unaddressed hurts. It's a heavy burden, one that can chip away at our joy, our confidence, our very sense of self. The fear of causing offense can trap us in a prison of our own making, preventing us from experiencing the freedom and authenticity that come with speaking our truth. But there's hope. We can break this cycle by creating a culture of courageous communication. It starts with listening to understand, not to respond. It requires empathy, vulnerability, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. It demands that we value accountability over appeasement, even when it's hard.